we have here Matt Cardona getting an assist from a kid who chops the out of who is this guy again? I forget his name, but I know it. If someone said it, the guy who's wrestling, I'd be like, oh yeah. And they're in ACW, Wisconsin, not the ACW that was ripping people off. We got to distinguish those two companies, okay? Because I did a whole piece on like how ACW was ripping people off, and then all these big name people were at this ACW show, but it's ACW Wisconsin. Or no, this one's Awesome Championship Wrestling. So is this another ACW? Jesus, I thought there was a lot of PWTs. How many ACWs are there?
You fucked up! You fucked up! You fucked!
My word. I thought I was an unoriginal hack. No, I'm joking.
Hit him! Hit him!
Hit him! Oh!
I forget this guy's name. Why can't I think of it? The guy he's wrestling is like an indie guy too, but this kid slaps the shit out of him.
Hit him! Hit him!
Hit him! Oh! Oh! Yeah, you get him, kid!
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. It's good when you can get the children involved there, I guess. You didn't throw a drink at them. So here's Culture Inc. number 48 PWI Hot 100 tag teams. Someone sent us this. Some days you just forget how big of a reach you have sometimes on the wrestling grind and the kids you inspire along the way. Let's take a look at this. I'm not sure. I forget why I bookmarked this.
This is Eli.
Oh, here we go.
Knight. He's like,
This is why. So this kid is awesome. And he loves pro wrestling. And you see he's a big WWE mark because he's a pro wrestling fan and he's a kid. But he's also watching indies and you marks who are like, you don't love wrestling if you like WWE. No, you're just a spurg and you know what I mean? And AEW's been really, and that's why people have fallen off of it. I'm sorry. We're just talking objectively here. It's all I'm saying. Like everyone sort of agrees on that. Hopefully they can turn it around. No one's a bigger advocate for that than me. But this kid loves WWE, but he's scouting this young indie wrestler, and this guy is quite impressive. At least athletically. You know Tony Khan's seeing this clip and wants to offer him a contract.
This is Eli Knight. He's a 23-year-old
Eli Knight. Yeah.
professional wrestler that just faced Wesley last night on Reality of Wrestling.
Is his name Eli Knight? That's awesome, dude. He's like, well, who are my two favorite wrestlers? Eli Drake and LA Knight. So I just smash them together.
And if you haven't already seen clips of him, here is a video of his moonsault from the top rope.
Maybe thinking moonsault. He's got one of the best in the business. There it is!
Like, do you guys see the height? I know it's hard to tell because just how this video's edited, but man, he gets height on that. It's like a moonsault frog splash type maneuver.
If you ask me, it's better than the likes of Montez Ford, Seth Rollins, and all the other people that do swanton bombs or even frog splashes. He might be one of the best professional wrestlers that I've seen today.
Yeah, I mean, that's the type of shit that'll get you money in AEW, dude. But I would just go to WWE with it. But then again, like, and I'm not hating, but they have guys who can do like that. So do they even, hopefully this guy can stand out, tell some good stories. He's a young cat. I think he's like 23. Shout out this little kid who's putting over Eli Knight. Yeah. And we're going to keep our eyes on this dude. So anyways, moving along here, speaking of guys we're keeping our eyes on here. So I gave a DM to Shihohong, okay? And he got back to me. So shout him out. And we covered it before, man. The first ever Wrestle Nation by Pro Wrestle South Korea had 3,000 people. And he's been grinding his own fed up for 5 years. And he had 3,000 people who bought tickets for, I think, $60 to $80 USD is the equivalent to that. And this guy's grinding. He has like, I don't even think, how many followers? He has just barely over 1,000 followers. He had like mid 900s on the last show when we covered this. So guys, go and follow Shihohong. He teams with Tajiri in Japan and shit. And yeah, man, here's another little clip from him because we shared that story last time, him talking about, hey, here's been my grind up and how and I think this stuff's important. Again, I care about fucking wrestling. For those of you in chat who are like, Evolve's on, good. I'm glad I don't catch every Evolve. I do throw it on, though. Like later tonight, it will be on when I'm going to bed or doing my things, you know? I might be editing and half paying attention, but good, you know? The more indie wrestling we can help promote too, I'm all about that. I want to see like a big 3 rise from the rise out of all of this. You know what I mean? Whether it's in Japan, Korea, Mexico, I don't give a fuck. But here's Shihohong.
Whoa! Everybody tell them you're
So I don't know if it's like Pro Wrestling South Korea or if it's Pro Wrestling Society Korea. I don't know the official name of the Fed yet. I followed them as well though. So everybody, go do that if you like indie wrestling. There you go. Right? What's his name again? Armando Estrada is Umaga's guy. This is Alberto Del Rio's dude. What's his name? Why do I forget it, chat? He's here though, doing the damn thing. Why do I forget his name? I'm forgetting all the names today. This is the second one already. Ricardo. So I don't know, man. This dude's a fun follow. Like, this is the shit he's doing. This is an average post. We're going to circle back to that because that is the big story for miscellaneous news. Carissa Rivera, FKA Elektra Lopez, is making her first appearance following her WWE release at Mike Santana's Puerto Rican weekend for House of Glory on June 7th. So that's sick. Mike Santana, Puerto Rico, House of Glory, doing big things. Man, we got promotions on the rise. JD was like, oh, we were over here in Brooklyn, and now we're over here now in Puerto Rico. Oh, I'm excited for her, I guess. Here is the Sandman. Now, the Legion of Skanks are a podcast consisting of Dave Smith, who's a comedian, political type guy. He doesn't get political on their show, though. I think he is, anyways. I think he's like really into politics and shit. And then Big J Okerson, who's a hilarious stand-up. And then Louis J. Gomez, who is like the leader of Gas Digital Podcast Network. And he does stand-up as well. And he hosts like a couple funny pods like Story Wars. And one of them's Legion of Skanks. Now, they've infamously had like ECW. They're wrestling fans, and they've had ECW wrestlers on multiple times. They had New Jack on right before he died. They had Sabu on literally like a week before he died, and their most recent is they had Sandman on. He invades Legion of Skanks. They give him his due, and here I'll let them talk about and shout out Sandman, dude. And they sort of joke about what I prefaced this whole clip with.
He is a record-breaking 5-time ECW heavyweight champion of the world, the Sandman.
Metallica's like Napster, yellow flame. Oh, can't even play that. What the fuck?
Have you been getting annoyed with all of the people that are saying don't go on the show, that you're going to die after it?
Yes. Don't come on this show, Legion of Skanks, because he'll die after it. And it's true, man. They had Sabu on, I think, a couple times, but the last time they did was like a week before he passed. They had New Jack on a couple times. The last time they did, I think, was like a month before he passed, maybe even less than that. And now Sandman. I'm not wishing anything. They joke about it here, though, so I think this breaks the curse, right? It's like saying shutout before a shutout fucking happens.
Yes.
Zach, they say that to you every time you get up.
No, the first thing somebody came up to me in the green room was, here, you need to sign this. And I'm like, well, who are these other two names? They're like New Jack and Sabu. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm not signing.
They wanted him to sign a belt, and then he refused to.
I had a good record with
That's
ECW legends coming on the show.
Yeah, we're 2-0 against ECW wrestlers.
I don't think the curse is real. If it is, can you guys please book Bubba Dudley next?
Wow. Oh, my God. Zach Amico. Shit. He should have been on the WWE roast because he's a a huge fan. Huge. Get it? Because he's
All right,
so
curse
big.
is real.
But listen to what he says. Dude, if the curse is real, invite Bully Ray on next.
Two legends coming
We love Bully Ray. It's just jokes. We roast the ones we love.
on the show.
Yeah, we're 2-0 against ECW wrestlers.
I don't
All
think the curse is real. If it is, can you guys please book Bubba Dudley next?
Wow. That's a Steve Corino. Wow.
Damn. Shout out Sandman. Looking good, actually, you know? So here is a pro wrestler. Speaking of ECW, I think this guy's been ID'd. You guys remind me who this is, and he's with our guy Malcolm Man Muscle Man Malcolm, rather. Dummy. And he goes off on ECW and is like, I fucking hate ECW. I think this guy's in Swipe Right. Where's this fucking guy with the sweater around his neck? What wrestler is this? I forget.
We're in the ECW arena. I know you love ECW. That was your favorite ECW match.
So I've been going off on a tangent. Legitimately, how I feel, I think ECW in its inception should have stayed at what it was a backyard wrestling company. Now, the issue I have with ECW is that it ruined wrestling and created an abhorrent type of person. And we can't turn the camera, but there are people here that I would call not even cute, like subhuman. If you look at them, beyond just the people that watched ECW, which was the main problem, the people that wrestled at ECW. I know Mick Foley. I don't know if he wrestled at ECW, but he's part of that. He's part of that culture that I just got a problem with.
You don't like Mick Foley?
I hate Mick Foley.
Okay.
I wrestled with him at OVW. Hate Mick Foley.
Oh.
He created this thing. This is another tangent I like to go off about.
I like you, Mick Foley.
He created this person where kids today or people today, 400 pounds, 300 pounds, they get picked on their whole life. They get bullied. And they think, oh, Mick Foley did it. I can do it. You can't do it. Mick Foley objectively is a really cool guy. But the people that he inspires to wrestle are awful. I don't think everyone should be a wrestler. I don't think everybody can be a wrestler. In fact, I'd say every single person that came to this show tonight should never even get the chance to be a wrestler. I was cool in high school.
And you peak then too, bud. Nah, I think he's just working the gimmick. There was a lot of lucha action going on as well. The LA Dodgers had Lucha Libre on the field for Mexican Heritage Night. And we have a couple instances of Lucha Libre just breaking out in the wild. Carson Drake, NWA, shout you out, bud, and thank you, chat. And chat, he's spot on about Foley. Bad Dude Tito's in there too, I think, in the mix. Do any of you guys get out to Dodgers games or what? If there's one thing I like, it's glizzies and beer, dude. You guys already know. So, and those are two things. So there you go, your victors, those dudes. And then here's two old guys who get into just like a lucha match in the street. Now, I've seen this in documentaries and shit. This isn't an instance of this, but like when you're training in wrestling school, and just some wrestlers, what they do is, so I don't know if y'all been to Mexico, but there's the red lights are like few and far between, you know, and there's no like speed limit and shit. So where there are traffic stops, well, depending, because some traffic stops, it's like dudes with guns, you know, like, but listen, what I'm getting at is that some traffic spots, luchadors will run out in the middle of the street and they'll fucking work matches and collect tips, and they do it quick, like before the light changes or whatever. And so street wrestling is like a thing. It's a real thing, and these dudes just start doing it here. I don't even know what's going on here, but I love this. This popped me huge. Like, dude gloms them. Look at that glomming. Like, at first when I saw this, I was like, oh, like this is real. And then you realize they're working, but just gloms them out of nowhere.
A la perfección.
Mira, nos vemos el día 26 en el recinto ferial. Allá los esperamos, todo gratis. Aquí ya llegó su padre, su pesadilla. Aquí está este mugroso, como siempre.
They're throwing down. Tony signed these guys. Yo, he slipped and hit that Rana in his dad's shoes. Super kick.
Y no se les olvide, ya que el 26 a este pendejo se lo va a cargar.
Is this like for a wrestling company? What am I missing? Someone who speaks Spanish, let me know.
Allá nos vemos.
A little dose of lucha. Former WWE announcer comes out of retirement for one night. We'll circle back to that. So during a virtual signing with Signed by Superstars, Maria Kanellis didn't rule out a WWE return and revealed it would be her dream to manage the Kingdom at WrestleMania. So listen, Matt Taven is like Kenny Omega Jr. He's got to just switch it up a bit. The look and the gear, and then he could easily be in WWE. Would WWE want Mike Bennett and shit back? I just don't think so at this point in their career. And Maria would be cool if they want to do valets, but what do they sign her? And then she's like they have Scarlett valeting. I'm all about valets and managers. You guys know that. If you're pitching to me, hey, this person can manage these people, I'm fucking down for the most part, right? To listen to that idea. Maria managing them at Mania, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Like, Solo didn't even have a Mania match this last one, so I just don't think that's in the cards. But dream big, dream and maybe we'll see her back. I just can't see a spot for like the Kanellises, the Kanelli, and Matt Taven in WWE. Especially like at their age and stuff. Again, not being ageist, but it's like when you're up there. They just brought in 42-year-old Jeff Cobb. Yeah, that's Jeff Cobb. Like, there's certain people where Rusev, okay, that's an OG original NXT guy. Like when it first switched from competition show to like Triple H is in charge of this developmental thing, Rusev was one of the first dudes. He was there having matches. He dipped out to the main roster. Triple H saw what Vince left on the table with Rusev, possibly. He's a name, dude. Rusev Day. He trends. He sells merch. He can pop a number. Signed a 2-year deal. It's okay. We'll get him a big match in that time. Malachi is Triple H's guy through and through. Through and through and through. Just the way he was booked in NXT Black and Gold. We all know that. So, you know Triple H wants Malachi back. So, it's like, is Mike Bennett one of these guys? No, he wasn't a Triple H guy. I don't think. He was in NXT for a bit. Maybe Triple H likes him. I know he's friends with Cody Rhodes. He's friends with lots of people. Everyone's friends with everybody in wrestling, but I just don't see this on the cards, you know? Batista says Hollywood is a cakewalk compared to the grind of being a pro wrestler. He says, I have a strong work ethic, and my work ethic really came from the WWE. They're not only durable people, but it's just the hardest grind that I could ever imagine. The grind, bruv. Being in Hollywood, being on a film set, it's long hours. But compared to the grind of being a professional wrestler, it's a cakewalk. And that's the thing, too. When Triple H is like, the grind. Everyone's like, oh, work more dates? Work more dates? Yes, man. Ospreay and these dudes claim they love pro wrestling, bruv. The sport of it. We love the sport. So don't you want to do the sport more? Is Connor McDavid... Like what? Okay, I'll give you the perfect example. Hockey players. Dudes play 82 plus games in the year, and the top players won't miss a fucking game. In NBA, the top players are like, oh, we're going to Oklahoma, I'm going to take that off. Or we're going to Memphis, I'm going to take that shit off or whatever. Oh, Toronto, I'm going to take that game off. And people call them prima donnas and divas and shit. So how does that same logic not apply? And how do sickos not understand that same logic and how it applies to pro wrestling and AEW? If you love the sport so much, you're going to want to do it more, wrestle more. But here's the point I'm trying to make. Other than just the matches, part of the grind and what Batista's talking about that WWE gets you ready for is like this film set shit. People don't understand how many times takes get retaken. I've seen the same shit be retaken like 80 times, that I'm not over exaggerating, like 80 takes in a row before it's like, all right, I think we got it. I've seen that firsthand, let alone fucking what Batista's doing with his movies. The grind, the real grind is like the media training, the fucking learning how to cut promos and format TV and staying for the matches and, you know, producing and picking the mind of a Pat Patterson for years while you're, you know, taking whatever opportunities you can and da-da-da-da-da. Like, that's the fucking grind. And until you've experienced that aspect of it, you can't say you're the best at doing what the best whoever did this did. Does that make sense? You can't be the best at what is pro wrestling. It encompasses more than just what goes on in the ring. We are seeing that now. This whole Dynamite has been no wrestling, half hour of fucking talking and shit. And I'm actually applauding them, because what was that? A great segment? And they didn't bullshit it up like I predicted by people running out and attacking them. Okay? And they just went back and forth. Now Moxley's walking in. Why is Tony going in this direction? Because even now he has to realize and admit the stories matter. This shit matters a lot too. Even more on your TV show. Matters more when you're doing a weekly TV show than the wrestling legit, because the wrestling happens on the pay-per-view, especially when you're shilling us 12 events a year or 10 fucking events a year or whatever. Okay. So part of that grind is also this grind of like learning to sit on in a trailer for literally 8 hours when you got called to work at 6 a.m. and then you're there 8 hours later and no one's even called you to set yet. You know, it's shit like that, dude. Well, I don't want to be an actor, bruv. Well, pro wrestling's like fucking 70% acting, dude. So maybe 60 if you're being generous, right? So it's like, I don't know what to tell you. But that's part of the grind too. And I like that Batista talks about how it prepared him for Hollywood. Doing backflips didn't prepare you for Hollywood. And I'm not shitting on the backflips. I like the backflips, but taking a spike bat in your back doesn't prepare Moxley for these bigger, great. Well, I don't want Hollywood, bro. That's bullshit. If people came to Will Ospreay and were like, bruv, we'd like you to be in the new James Bond as the villain. We want you to like do monkey flips and fight James Bond. Yes or no, would Will Ospreay take that job? Fucking do it tomorrow. Yeah, at the end, if they came to the Young Bucks, hey, we want you guys to fight the whatever in this new Marvel movie. You're the Putties and the Power Rangers. They'd fucking do it, okay? So I don't care what anybody has to say. So yeah, I hope I made sense of that. And shout out Batista. But he says being in Hollywood, being on a film set, it's long hours, but compared to the grind of being a pro wrestler, it's a cakewalk. It's night and day. I'm in this business and I find it hard to relate to people who are just always unhappy on set and always complaining about something. I don't relate to that at all. Yeah, you can't be a dick on set, man. Makes everyone miserable. And here's the other thing. You can't be a dick in backstage of WWE because it makes everybody miserable. So it's a cakewalk for Batista because not only in WWE do you get an early call time, but then you want to stay and watch the matches, get better at your craft. But you also got to work out, get in the car, get to the next town, check in. Fans are at the airport. Got to sign. Got to do. Oh, you got to shoot the commercial for SummerSlam. Oh, you got the. You know what I mean? The video game needs a voiceover. Da, da, da. It's all that shit, man. To where Batista's like, dude, sitting in a trailer, smoking blunts until they get my body double done with all the B-roll shots and shit. You know, it's fucking. He's like, that's a cakewalk. You know, from taking bumps. So shout him out. Anyways. Maple Leaf Pro and Battle Arts Academy form a new partnership. Battle Arts Academy is Santino Marella's like wrestling shoot Muay Thai jiu-jitsu school or whatever the fuck. I put this in miscellaneous. So guys, I gotta be honest, this whole Cora Jade, Elayna Black shit is cringe and everybody's fucking simping for her in these replies and shit, and it's honestly disgusting. And look at how, man, society's just down so bad when, okay, let's watch this video. First off, she's in her fucking wrestling gear. Like, okay, are you really gonna pay her OF for this shit? Yeah, you cuckatoos are going to do that, aren't you? Oh, you're gonna take pictures for your OF in your wrestling gear. Oh, cool. You've had crazier thirst traps on Instagram, you know? But the response to this, so everybody likes it, they run it up. Her response is, by the way, it's called being able to wrestle wherever I want and also now being able to profit off of you being creeps. which you were going to do for free anyways. So she just literally slapped all you motherfuckers. So when she puts a thirst trap out there where her vagina's almost showing after she gets new titties, and again, this is I get it when people are like, we shouldn't body shame, and somebody said it to me too, like, who would buy a Nia Jax OnlyFans? A lot of people, a lot of fucking people. Like, she's super pretty, dude. This has nothing to do with that. I'm not like judging a woman do it, but I'm giving you logistically, let's lay this out. Let's think about how her mentality works here. So when she puts out a thirst trap like that, and you all like and reshare it and go, damn girl, or whatever the fuck, what do you expect is going to happen? You put out something to sexualize and feel good about yourself. That's fine. I'm not judging that part. But when people react to it by complimenting you or sort of sexualizing you in the picture, now you're calling all those people creeps. And she goes, you're going to do that for free anyways. Get this at the same time. Which you are. You sickos are going to be creeps anyways. You're going to make her so fucking rich. I encourage dudes all the time, don't succumb to the urges, okay? And I'm not hating on her hustle whatsoever, but it's just the fact she's just telling y'all this. This should be like, yeah. She's telling you right now, like, what she thinks of you. And that's what every OF girl thinks of you, by the way, when you sub to that shit. And they just use AI bots to talk to you and shit. So really, it's weird on like multiple levels. And I truly believe we're like a few years away from people fucking robots. So I don't know, man. At the end of the day, she's just straight up about it. Like, I can wrestle where I want, and now I can just profit off you being creeps, which you were going to do for free. That's the thing. I don't understand what you gain by calling everybody creeps either, right? And then this dude, like 100. Bro, thank you. Like, y'all are finna harass women's wrestlers anyways. I might as well get paid for it. But like, where did she get harassed? I just don't understand, right? Like, I get it, on social media, but you make choices of what to wear and put on social media. It's just like if I went on social media and I started like being racial towards people would be like, this guy's a racist. You know what I'm saying? So when you put out pictures that sexualize yourself and then you call everyone creeps for reacting, I would say appropriately or as accordingly to what your objective was. You wanted a bunch of followers to follow you, because that's what a lot of these actresses do as well. And they know this. They're like, drop thirst traps, get to 1 million, get to 2 million. Then you get these roles. These movie companies, these entertainment companies, they look at followers and shit. I get it. Like, a lot of women will do it till they get to a certain follower count or whatever, or they're just, and I'm not shaming anyone for like, oh, they want to do OF and make money. I don't care about that. It's a cheat code for women. What I'm saying though, is like, then she just shoots on everyone. You're all creeps anyways. I might as well just milk you for money. I don't know, dude. Don't do it. Don't succumb to the urges. I know she's fine as wine. Just don't do it. Okay. Anyways, so Samantha Irvin, she comes out of retirement, of like announcer retirement. So former WWE ring announcer Samantha Irvin recently made a notable public appearance, her first since leaving WWE, not for a wrestling event, but to introduce the legendary Stevie Wonder. So we're going to cover this a bit more in a bit. Or I don't even know if I bookmarked it because I had this article, but yeah, she came out of retirement for one evening to announce, like to do announcing. Now, I want to know what you guys think, chat. Is this like an L for her to... I think this is dope, but she could release music and do this while working in WWE. Now, maybe she just didn't want... I feel like personally, behind the scenes, her and Ricochet just like hated WWE low key. And I think they got out of it. I think Ricochet behind the scenes is like, yo, fuck this place type shit. And then that's his wife. You know, women are malleable, dude. You ever know, like, you ever have a friend who like they start dating each other and then they start like talking like each other, using the same jokes or same mannerisms and shit. That's all I'm saying. It's not a coincidence that they've cringed everybody out on socials. Yeah, good for her, man. Yeah, her voice is so good for announcing. Damn. And then speaking of good voice, Stevie Wonder just cooking. That's amazing. What an amazing event and experience that must have been. Titus O'Neil. So I saw a couple people trying to spin this as an L, like, oh, she just went right back to announcing. I wouldn't say it's an L, but that's what she's best suited at, you know? Like twerking and playing flute is cool, man. That's something you like do in your vlogs or on your YouTube channel when you're I don't want to like tell people what to do. I don't like doing that. But listen, man, if you're a celebrity or you have a following or whatever, and it's in this one area, and then you're like, well, I'm going to ditch this to go back and do this one area, or like this other thing I did, or like I'm going to go try and make it in music or whatever and leave this one area kind of. It's like, that's not the move. You just still do that one thing, but then you show another side of yourself on like YouTube or Twitch or something like Dakota Kai was doing, right? She's like big on Twitch, dude. I think that's the way to approach it. And I just think, fuck, whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to give business advice to someone who blocked me. Who gives a shit? I'm not even, what have you done? Exactly. So it's all good, you know? But shout out Stevie Wonder. He sounds great. And shout out Samantha. She sounds amazing when she announces. It's like, fuck, man, just do that. Anyways, though, in a recent interview with Number, Rossi Ogawa and Mayu Iwatani, but they confirmed that most people in the business were saying at the time. Rossi Ogawa says, I originally wanted to welcome Mayu Iwatani when Marigold launched. However, due to her contract with Stardom, that was not possible. So, yeah, WWE has been eyeing her up. People are like, she could go to AEW. I don't know. She went to Marigold. She's loyal to Rossi. If Rossi's loyal to WWE, then there you go. But anyways, Mayu says, Marigold is my family. Stardom is a company. Do you guys see? And I'm trying to show you as well. Notice how girls from Stardom have to go sign to AEW now. Like, it's not. So I talked about this on the pod with Sanal that's coming out tomorrow. Notice how this Forbidden Door isn't CMLL, Stardom, ROH, AEW, New Japan, or whatever, like how they promoted the last one. This year, Stardom's not a part of it. Why? And now Stardom girls have to fully leave Stardom to be on Dynamite. They're not just like showing, here's a lady from Stardom and here's a Stardom banner when she comes out in Stardom. Amazing. You guys notice that? Keep an eye on that. I don't think that relationship's as tight as everybody thinks lately. But Mayu says Marigold is family, Stardom is a company. Mayu wanted to leave Stardom at the time. That's why she was doing erratic or worrying tweets, and President Okada said he had to contact her. After over a year, she's finally where she wants to be. So Mayu's like, get me out of here. Crazy. And then Rossi Ogawa also had this to say. He doesn't approve of fat wrestlers. I don't mean to laugh, but Rossi Ogawa, like, dude, don't give a fuck. You know, in Japan, bro, they don't give a fuck about any of this. You're body shaming. He's like, no, bitch. I don't approve of fat wrestlers, of a fat wrestler. So I'll get you like the full quote. But it's just funny that Rossi Ogawa is just fat. So promoter Rossi Ogawa brutally fat shames Utami Hayashishida in a ridiculous comment. So of course this is What Culture's take on it. Now I'm not trying to be one of these guys like, listen, the UK's like mad sensitive about shit all the time. You know, I'll just put it that. I don't want to be like, it's woke, man, and shit like that, but it's, come on, right? We know how they overreact to the shit. I'm not saying like, I don't even know when people are like body shame. Isn't that like, I don't know. I'd say that's more of a bullying thing. If you're just noting like, God damn, you got to hit the gym, son, or whatever. I think that would, but Rossi goes harsh here. But in Japan, they don't give a fuck about that stuff culturally. You know what I mean? In the UK, they're like, oh, how dare you? In Japan, they don't give a shit. They're about like honor and shame and all this shit. They're about fat shaming. Like for real though. And dudes who get like super big and giant, these sumo wrestlers, they're like these larger than life. They're held in like high regard and shit. But women, it's like not appropriate. Now you can sit there and go, that's not right. This is ridiculous. But like, you don't live there. If you live there and you're like, this is fucked up, man. Okay. But culturally, like they don't give a shit in Japan about any of that outrage, whatever. But he says, I don't approve of a fat wrestler. And so Marigold Booker Rossi Ogawa appears to be hell-bent on chasing this year's most ridiculous thing said by a wrestling promoter award after absurdly calling his 26-year-old world champion Utami Hayashishita fat. So here's the thing, too. They Google translated this. Now, you have to explain, as the Oilers score, shout out Draisaitl, you have to explain to dumb fucks. You have to explain to dumb fucking uncultured people that words don't one-to-one. When you're talking about different languages, words don't one-to-one translate. I'll give you perfect examples because I speak French en français, okay? So if you were to be like, oh, that's sweet, there's no word for that in French. The closest thing would be like ça sucre or something. Sucre, but that directly translates to sugar. So there's no, or another example is like tout le monde. That means everybody, right? You in French, you say tout le monde when you're talking about everybody. But the problem is tout le monde directly translates to the entire world, the whole world. But it's interchangeable for everybody. So I'm sure there's things like that when it comes to Japanese. And I'm sure Google Translate it can't do a one-to-one. So it just does like what I explained right there with the French aspect of it. So people don't understand this shit, and it's annoying as fuck. Because I doubt what he's just like, she's fat, you know? But let's read the quote, how Google translated it from Japanese, okay? That match was good, but she should tone up a bit more. Okay? What's wrong with saying someone should tone up? By the way, you can be not fat and tone up. You understand? You can get tone while simultaneously not being fat. Those are two. If you work out, you understand that. So, said Ogawa to Japanese outlet number. Utami has already blossomed once in Stardom, hasn't she? I think she has a sense of mission for the organization, but it will be difficult to make her blossom a second time. For instance, the way he's saying blossom. So that's not a translation one-to-one, or it is. It's the closest way you can translate whatever he was saying in Japanese that clearly adds more nuance to what he's trying to say. That's the perfect example because no one talks like that in English. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Personally, I want to see her show a toned body as a wrestler. It's not like the Showa era, so I'm not saying that just because she's a pro wrestler. She should drink and eat a lot, but I don't approve of a fat wrestler. See, this, yeah, you guys, it's just fake outrage, dude. An insane way to promote a high-profile match between an acclaimed world champion regarded as one of the best wrestlers in the world. No, it's not insane because you don't understand it. That's dismissive. You are dumb, and you're reading a fucking Google translation one-to-one. You can take some of this shit, translate it back and forth, and it'll give you something different a couple times. Utami shot to international prominence with 2 high-profile matches against Siri. Okay, so what culture? Just, again, being faux outraged as they do. So Zaya Lee, I forget what's her current name. I don't want to fuck it up. I'm so sorry. Zaya. It is Lei Ying Lee is what it is now, okay? Lei Ying Lee. And she took a shoot Muay Thai fight and fucking won. I don't know if knees or elbows were allowed, though. I'd have to find the match and watch it because they're wearing kick pads. But she won the match, so tremendous work on her behalf.
Judge number 1 scores it 30-27 blue. Judge number 2 scores it 30-27 red.
Who's judging tonight? What is
Judge number 3 scores it 29-28 for your winner. I don't think
Damn, that ring girl's cheeked up. Good for her. That's got to feel so good. It's got to feel so good, dude. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was actually a meaty miscellaneous.